The Gambia has been stripped the right to host the 2019 summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, according to reports. The World Food Programme WFP has expressed concern over the worsening food crisis in North Korea as over 10 million people face food shortage. Turkey's rescue teams and gendarmerie units continue search and rescue efforts for a journalist who was swept away by an avalanche in northeastern Turkey. These are the headlines. More coming on your way on the World Today on iAfrica TV. Hello viewers, you're watching the World Today News Bulletin. We now kick off with our first story. The Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Ibrahim Silla, has given assurance on behalf of the government that Banjo Breweries Limited will not shut down. His assurance came less than a week after the brewer had threatened to shut down operations unless the government responded to its request for dialogue over the controversial excise tax policy before the end of Saturday. Banjo Breweries has been at loggerheads with the government over the new policy, which hikes excise tax from 10 to 75%. According to official records, the company made a tax payment of $132 million for the whole of last year, but under the new tax system, it has already paid $97 million just from January to April. Minister Silla told journalists that the government had listened to the concerns of the company and the public. Let's take a look at his insert.
Regarding the Banjul Breweries issue, I don't want to give you a specific day, but I want to tell you that government has listened, and we listened carefully, diligently. Also, we, there was a and before that, even the Ministry of Tourism, was also engaged. Because alcoholic beverages also have a great impact on our hospitality industry in general. And following a fruitful discussion, it was escalated to the Ministry of Trade, that is responsible for businesses in this country. And the two ministries actually throughout the middle of last week to, I think, Monday or Tuesday of last week, they had, concretized the issues that need to be ironed out. We hope that the National Assembly Select Committee will be briefed, because anything that has to do with the revenue expenditure of this country, the National Assembly should be consulted, because this was gazetted already. It is like law, so you just cannot say, okay, we are just, taking it off our books and then it applies. You have to go through some procedure, because it's in the interest of everyone. That is why I said we don't want to give a specific timeline on this, but I can tell you that government has listened and we have engaged, and I want to believe that contrary to what you have said, Banjul Breweries will not close on Saturday. Personally, I have also reached out to the General Manager, Mr. Dabo, and assured him of government's commitment, to bring this thing to a close as soonest. What I don't want to do is to give a specific date or timeline, but I can tell you that there is a strong commitment that before the end of next week, a decision will be announced to the media. Thank you.
That was the Information Minister, Honorable Ibrahim Silla, giving assurances on behalf of the government with regards to Banjo Breweries. The Gambia will no longer host the 2019 summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, according to reports reaching iAfrica TV. According to reports, the Gambia has given the authority to Saudi Arabia to host the summit. The Gambia, according to reports from Saudi media, requested that Saudi fulfill part of the financial pledge it made earlier to help Banjo prepare the summit as part of the deal to allow Saudi to host the world's biggest Islamic conference. The Gambian delegation also also asked Saudi to vouch for the Gambia to host the 2021 OIC summit. To have more light on the development, we have Issa Bokarsi, the Press and Communication Officer at the OIC Secretariat in Banjul. Mr. C, can you confirm to us or deny if the Gambia will no longer host the OIC summit in 2019?
Well, thank you very much. I would neither confirm nor deny because I'm not the original source of the information where the news item is coming. But what I can tell you from the perspective of the Secretariat, someone in charge of the communication, like you said, we at the Secretariat, in quote unquote, I call us the brain architects, hired professionals to mobilize resources, execute projects. As far as I'm concerned, that is on course, it is ongoing, and I would also refer you to local newspapers. Starting from tomorrow, you will see activities and then understand that we are on course. So as far as the postponement of dates or cancellation, there are three paradigms here: technical side, the political side, and the diplomatic side. When it comes to decisions about dates and postponements, that is a political decision. We are yet to be involved in anything or be given an advice contrary to the terms of reference we have been assigned to handle.
Okay, Mr. C, if this is to be the case, that is, if the Gambia wouldn't be hosting the OIC summit, what would be the reasons aside from those that you've just mentioned?
Well, like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
because
here to
the reason I ask is because we've had reports that
you're breaking. I can't hear you.
yeah, but the reason I ask is because we've had reports that the Gambia is not fit to host the summit when it comes to infrastructure.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said in the beginning. It's not a question of me trying to avoid the question. I'm just pegging my approach on a professional line that even if I were to be near somebody on the phone saying something that you're saying, as far as I'm not approached professionally with a document on my desk or anything otherwise, I would not be able to speculate on it. As far as I'm concerned, nobody has contacted me or the office about Gambia not hosting the OIC or postponing it to another country. It could be true, but we are yet to see it.
So you are confirming that the Gambia is still the host of the OIC Summit 2019 as of now?
Well, like I said, there are responsibilities here. If it comes to confirming whether the Gambia will host it in November 2019 or not, will be a political decision. The Secretariat is answerable to the Office of the President, and we are yet to be advised to that effect.
Okay, Mr. C, we've also had a report that Saudi Arabia will be hosting this year's summit on the fact that there was an agreement that they will fund part of what the budget for next year's summit that we will be hosting.
Yes, I mean, what I'm trying to say here, I understand that, quote unquote, there are cross-pollinations of phrases and terminologies of people saying that there is a deal or something. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing like a deal between state-to-state relationship. There should be agreements or pacts, but I am not aware of any deal or any agreement between the Saudi government and the Gambia government where Gambia will surrender anything to Saudi and Saudi will host it and then compensate us for that.
Okay.
I am not aware of that.
Okay. Mr. C, do you believe that the Gambia still has the capacity to host the OIC summit as of now?
Well, the Gambia has the capacity, like any other country in the world, to host any international conference, but it all depends on what one is looking at. There is a question of comfort, but there is a question of security. So if you refer back to Senegal, I mean, they did change the date 5 times. So as far as I'm concerned, whether it is true or not, what I am after is not about what date we are holding it. What I am after is the infrastructure to be built to change the appearance of the Gambia infrastructure-wise, and then create employment, and then create institutions where people will be hired.
Yeah, but Mr. C, the hotel for the delegates has not been built yet. So where will the delegates stay when they come?
And this is what I'm saying. I mean, that hotel was not built when we were hosting African Union. And then I don't want to enter into this terrain of slippery spots of arguments about what is ready or not. What I'm trying to tell you is that my terms of reference, the office's terms of reference is on course. Well, take a look at the newspapers in the coming days. You will see some developments to understand that what I'm telling you is true.
Okay, so let's visit the international scene. We understand that the Gambia is trying so hard to find its place on the international arena. What could be the implications when it comes to international relations if the Gambia does not host the summit?
You said what? International relations what? I didn't hear the question, please.
I said, let's visit the international scene as of now. We understand that the Gambia is trying so hard to find its place, its right place at the international arena. What could be the implications or the consequences if the Gambia does not host the summit when it comes to international?
That's a political question. I would redirect to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Office of the President. I wouldn't be standing here to talk about Gambia's image as far as the international arena is concerned. Although I'm a diplomat, but I am not assigned to speak on that. That should be a question addressed to the Office of the President and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The World Food Programme on Monday expressed concern over the worsening food crisis in North Korea. During a visit to South Korea, WFP Executive Director David Beasley appealed for donations to support food aid to Pyongyang. North Korea is facing severe UN sanctions since 2006 after it unilaterally testified its nuclear arsenal. Sanctions have left it isolated from the international community. The World Food Programme WFP on Monday expressed concern over the worsening food crisis in North Korea. During a visit to South Korea, WFP Executive Director David Beasley appealed for donations to support food aid to Pyongyang, Yonhap News Agency reported. We are very concerned about the situation there and we are hopeful that we can come up with some solutions, Beasley said after his meeting in Seoul with South Korean Unification Minister Kim Yon-chul to discuss North Korea's worsening food situation. Whatever we do, we will assure the donors that the food or any assistance will meet their objectives. We have monitoring systems in place, he added. South Korea has expressed its desire to send shipments of food aid to the North after WFP and the Food and Agriculture Organization said in a joint report that nearly 10 million North Koreans are in urgent need of food. It was in 2010 that South Korea last provided food assistance to North Korea. The communist country was hit badly by floods that year. Seoul had delivered 5,000 tons of rice to Pyongyang. U.S. President Donald Trump has supported the latest food aid move by Seoul. The WFP and FAO said that North Korea's crop output last year hit the lowest level since 2008, urging UN member states including South Korea to contribute to their efforts to help North Korea with its worsening food shortfalls. We are assessing the situation. Obviously, everybody knows there was bad weather, droughts, flooding, there was bad snow. There was a lot of different conditions impacting the food security situation in North Korea, Beasley said in Seoul today. The report speaks for itself, so we have very serious concerns. Beasley also met South Korean Foreign Minister Kang Yong-kwa, who said Beasley's visit came at a very timely moment. The South Korean Unification Minister will meet leaders from civic groups and religious organizations on Tuesday as part of efforts to listen to their opinions with regard to food assistance to the North. North Korea is facing severe UN sanctions since 2006 after it unilaterally test-fired its nuclear arsenal. Sanctions have left it isolated from the international community. North Korea currently facing food shortages after what many describe as an ironical situation, considering the fact that North Korea is busy building and testing missiles. A non-profitable youth movement called Sulphur United, comprising of youths of Tanje, one of the fishing spots in the Gambia, have ventured in keeping the banks of the Atlantic Ocean clean by embarking on weekly cleaning exercises of the fishing spot in Tanje. Sajo Sambu gives us more.
A non-profitable youth movement called Sulphur United, comprising of youths of Tanje, one of the fishing spots in the Gambia, took it upon themselves to keep the banks of the Atlantic Ocean clean. On Saturday 11th May, embark on their weekly cleaning exercise of the fishing spot in Tanje. Sulphur United, which is formed by citizens of Tanje, is aimed at contributing its quota in national development, alongside not only to keep the banks clean and harbor the tourists visiting the site, but also to reduce the risk of climate change. Visiting the team at work in Tangi, the president of the association, Keba Sise, said the purpose of such initiative is to protect the hygiene of the sea and protect their lives from unexpected disease. He said the rubbish such as the plastic bags and the remains of the fishing nets thrown into the sea is killing most of the fish species in the river.
Our own nature, like the fish and the turtles in the sea, because what we consider is that many animals are dying by this plastic and these nets and the rubbish in the sea. So because we have made a protection of this wildlife in here, how we could make sensitization of people about stopping killing the animals and killing air and throwing this plastic on the beach. Because we think that sometimes the sea turtles also come here to lay their eggs on the beach. And when they come lay it on the beach, because normally the 2 months, in that 2 months, when they hatch their eggs, they try to go in the water. And in going in the water, because they're stopped by the plastic and the nets. So many of them, they die.
Keba Sise further said the issue of plastic and garbage thrown into the sea has been a long-standing crisis and challenge that has been tabled before the council.
KMC, because the time of the former president, KMC has been known about it. Because first thing, whatever you plug from here, they have to come and collect it. And they put it in a place where it can be far from the beach. But at that time, nobody comes. So we try to manage, to own them. Or sometimes we dig the place, but when we think about the sand, they never rot in. But we decide that let us boil it. But the government also needs to help us, and our pledge also about joining in work together, and we try to fight against the plastic.
Amadou Kole, the association head or Alcalo, accused the foreigners occupying the Gambian waters of polluting the sea with the rubbish and plastic bags thrown in the sea.
Nyim foreigners nyol milbe nyim badato milka nyim business okeji. Cafe Tuba nyolu. Ani nyim bitikolu. Ani nyim bitikudolu milia lonko e kafengol kunti ka fay. Yamwe. Mole dos sate complainta. Pour ka dos crimplino soto ka keje. Bare bot wo dula ni tata ge faw ne o digge fay bal nako dos crimplino mankeja. Ha. Wala kidan tol lokol yati. Annun ika ni afita. Ibuka bon dawoda ika bomba dende wala wo ba dende wo nimba fata samba jiyo kono namu na jata aka samba baba kono na fata aka murunnan tolkan.
Ahmad Koli called for concerted efforts from the village elders to help rescue the only place of survival for the people of Tanje and the surrounding to avoid what could lead to health hazard.
Satere nyanta lol kan tolum ma ko nyimba dende because nyimbu so kam ne fay nyimba kono nyel ka domo andum dol ka balula nyela wo mun to lakol ya balete as possible wo nye kam nin domo maybe c'est courant so be mo malo ka to fengo fengi ka tali ka fay nyimba kono so wo fengo ka fay nyimba kono be ba kanta kan be na tinto kanta kan ala senia bundala.
The public relation officer of the association reiterated that the Senegalese and other nationalities in the fishing sport are the major problem, as they would not use the toilets to ease themselves, instead would use the sea, in PRO. Keba Sise, a member of the association, urged for the intervention of government to help them keep the sea banks clean.
Anu kamol bidan ni ya lon ko nyanta kala ni ya lon ko man sai kamol ni kamol si ni bada bari bu façon kata kamoto de eni mbade no be da be mu bole ndel batata mu ko la ko sai biri wati jamay ni biri soli ko be ko la ko an sai ko mu ne be keri ha yili bu ka son tala kamoto de kulumol ko ne kebu bala ko o be kana de na bade.
The association, which has been doing the exercise for the past years, call on authorities responsible to address the situation, as the negative impact is hazardous and will further in future be a threat to fish and other species in the water. Sajo Sambu, Africa TV News.
Coming up after the break, Vision Development Foundation has donated 1,810 kilograms bags of sugar to the political parties in the Gambia. Welcome back. We remind you that you're watching the World Today News Bulletin. Let's now take a look at the remaining stories. Vision Development Foundation has donated 1,810 kilograms of bagshift sugar to the political parties in the Gambia, while Victim Center also benefited from the gestures. The distribution of the items was held at the foundation headquarters in Churchillstown.
Vision Development Foundation has donated 1,810 kg bags of sugar to the political parties in the Gambia, whilst Victim Center also benefited from the gesture. The distribution of the items was held at the foundation headquarters in Churchillstown. Speaking at the events, Sheikh Tijan Fofana, the public relations officer of the foundation, has said that the gesture is not about the politics, it is all about to expand the aims of the foundation.
This gesture is non-political because Vision Development Foundation is a non-state actor and we are non-profit making organization. The rationale behind this gesture, as I said earlier on, is to support you so that you can support our poor and needy, because that is what we stand for. And we have a firm belief at our executive level that if you, the political representative, have such support, it will filter down to our poor and needy because you have them around you. So this is our understanding. That's why the CEO, Mr. Momodu Dabo, suggests this idea to the board, and the board has endorsed it, that we can equally support the political representatives. They can also filter it down to their followers or to their representatives. That is the gesture that we are witnessing today.
Harry Gomez, leader of the GDPD, and who double as the youth advisor to the president, commended the chief executive officer of the foundation, Mr. Modu Dabo, for his support by giving sugar to the political parties in the Gambia in order to strengthen the good relationship among the political parties.
Mange gerem Mr. Dabo pour sukur yim ekati di ko jox dom adama yi rawati new doole gi ndaxte nit koo xam ne danga or ñaaka lekka ñaaka naan di jàmm sa borom ba waxtu dog jot mënuloo am sax tiiboo naan loolu dafa doy waar bon boo xoolee saaku sukur yi ak doom aadama yi nekk fii nga ñu war a ekkati i saaku sukur di leen ko jox bon fam jógee yal na fa yàlla yokkal lu bëri te yal na yàlla may Mr. Dabo fan bu gudda ak wér gu yaram ak ñi moo liggéeyal ñëpp te nañ leen ko jàppale ndaxte lim def nii mu ngi wone ne réewi Gambia dafa wécceeku mu ngi wone ne ñirooroo ak ŋaararoo xëjatut ci dëkk bi fii ñun ñëpp benn lañ ndaxte tey ku indi political party si yëpp ne leen dañ leen a jox sukur pour ngeen jox doom aadama yi toppa ci seen gannaaw bon yaakaar naa ne ñu ngi empower political party si yëpp xooluñ ne nguur gi bu Adama Barrow la xooluñ ne Henry Gomez la xooluñ ne kii la xooluñ ne kële la.
Mr. Gomez advised the Gambians to stay united and they should not allow the politics to separate them, as we all know that politics come and go, but the Gambian remains as a nation.
bon nañ leen jël tam ba si tey jii mu wecci suñ xol yi ñu doon ñu ñëpp nekk benn buñ bugantewul sax nañ leen ñu respectante ngir réew mi lañ amuñ fenn fudul réew mi bon jàmmi réew mi nañ leen ko fonka nañ leen xam ne tey man mi taxaw fii waxtu la rek bés dafa ñëwit keneen ñëw président bi fi nekk balaa moom dafa amoon keneen bés dina ñëwit dafa randu keneen dafa ñëw bon gaal dafa buddi gaal costé bon buñ toppa njiiti bem tax ñu war a ñiiroo ak ŋaaroo war a xuruj réew mi lañ am nañ leen fonka réew mi nañ leen jàppalante ñu liggéey réew mi fuñ jógee ba jox ñu sukur pour ñu dimbale wante bon nañ leen xam ne ñaaka déggoo amul ñaaka waxtaan moo am njiit yi dañoo ñëw dem bon bu leen benn njiit nax pour ñu war a jóg di war a reyante oo di war a saagante oo di war a xuloo di war a xeex jaru ko àddina si dara ko fi jarul ñun ñëpp a bokk ndey bokk bàyyi politique dafa ñëw politique jeex na nañ leen ñu liggéey.
Sheriff M. Kijera, the chairman of the Victim Center, thanks Mr. Dabo for being supportive to the Victim Center.
Last year, ye demarof tan Victim Center ya minkita mani botolti ani sukur botolti. Me alom victim jama ye buna fala kabo the urban area jang fokata for the provinces kata URR kata the North Bank CRR will be benefit tala. Kola fana nata demar kotong soto je minkita koritati nga nisi saba sota bulu me yalon ko victim sol fana ye buna fala banna solo fana ay the same thing ke wole ko nisi saba di molla so kata kute me yalon ko akata kunyi nyari mbate victim center mba tentulala mba jailal ñinam fana felenting massa fede atelen kelinan ko take ka the same demaro fana victim center la.
Vision Development is a civil society organization began its operation in 2006. It is a registered non-government institution which aims to evaluate the needs of the poor and needy. The main aim is to achieve via a number of varieties activities such as creating and maintaining saving and credit schemes that give access to small loans, building health facilities, skill training for women and youth groups to increase their opportunity at self-employment and self-sufficiency. For iAfrican News, this is Ismaila Sonko reporting.
That was Vision Development Foundation's distribution of sugar bags to political parties and the Victim Center. Turkish rescue teams and gendarmerie units continue search and rescue efforts for an Anadolu Agency correspondent who was swept away by an avalanche in the northeastern Turkey on Friday. Abdul Kadir Nisansi was covering road construction works on Mount Soganli, located between northeastern Beybod and Trabzon provinces at an altitude of 3,500 meters. Turkish rescue teams and gendarmerie units continue search and rescue efforts for an Anadolu Agency correspondent who was swept away by an avalanche in northeastern Turkey on Friday. Abdul Kadir Nisansi was covering road construction works on Mount Soganli, located between northeastern Beybod and Trabzon provinces at an altitude of 3,500 meters. Nisansi slipped when a mass of snow he stepped on broke loose at Darabasi Curves area, which is known as one of the most dangerous curves in the world. Teams of the State-run Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, National Medical Search Team, Gendarmerie Special Command of Public Security, Gendarmerie Search and Rescue Teams and paramedics were dispatched to the area. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you on the World Today Afternoon Bulletin. For more on these and other stories, kindly log on to our website, iafrica.tv. I am Fatma Tajaju. Bye for now.